Today, we're gonna get into the basics of Lightsaber Form 1 as taught here at Luminous Movement. But before we get into any strikes, I want you guys to know that these are beginner skills. They are meant to teach you the gross motor skill movements that you're gonna need to refine in later forms. One thing I also wanna get into is that some of you are gonna find this really easy. Others are gonna find this difficult. So I want you to take time, watch through this video a few more times. If I don't explicitly mention something, take a look at what my hands are doing, take a look at what my feet are doing, my posture and my stances. I want you guys to have the best, most complete experience. And as always, if you have comments or questions, hit me in the comments below. And if not, hit me on my socials. Links are in the description below. With that said, let's get right into learning the basic strikes in Form 1. So the biggest thing I want you guys to know in this form is when you are practicing your cuts, your footwork is important. And what I mean by that is your stance and the way you stand. Even if we're practicing statically, when we are swinging our saber, I want you guys to focus on cutting to the open side, which way your pelvis and chest should be facing based on your feet. We're gonna wanna start with our left foot forward, toes pointing in the direction of our opponent, and our back foot angled slightly out. So in this zone is where our back foot is facing. So when we face our opponent, we get into our front stance. Whenever you're with my classes, you'll know this. I'll count down and we'll be like, ready, front. And this is how we reset and get ready to go. When you guys are practicing your cuts today, I want you guys to imagine an asterisk symbol with a nice straight line down, forward, boom, boom. You probably see one right up here. What you guys are gonna be looking for is you're gonna put that symbol up on the wall. I want you guys to see it in front of you, and that's how you guys are going to practice the directions of your cuts. Let's get into it and I'll show you how that works. So what I want you guys to focus on when your arms are up nice and high is leading with your tip and not with your hands. You're going to push the saber forward and down. That's different than that. So there is your nice downward and diagonal cut, being sure to cut to the open side, like I mentioned earlier, by switching your feet. And that's our first cut from right down to left. We're gonna switch that up, and we're gonna go from left down to right. Same guard, down. And if you're left-handed, nothing changes here. Boom, boom. Bring it back up, switch, boom. And now you've got a nice connecting downward diagonal cuts, whether you're left-handed or right-handed. And Jedi Guy is gonna say, train both sides. It's how I work, it's how I fight, it's how I train. If I wanna get good against other people, I've gotta practice both ways. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn that up and we're gonna connect our upward diagonal strikes. So from ready front, we're gonna bring the saber up. We're gonna roll the tip down. My bottom hand is now the strong grip, and my lower hand is the loose grip. We're gonna drag it up the same way, extending forward, bring it back, switch our feet, and up. I'm actually have the wrong footwork here. There we go. Boom. Bring it back and down. Boom. So you can see how both cuts look from either direction. We're gonna switch it up. I have a nice loose grip at the top. I switch, tight grip at the top, loose grip at the bottom, switch, and then I interchangeably switch between those for my upward cuts. And I can go downward now. And now I have these nice rolling X cuts from down left, down right, up right. That's the easy start. These are gonna be your most useful cuts, the most used cuts in any lightsaber battle or choreography you guys perform, whether you're fencing in a lightsaber fencing club or you're doing choreography. That's gonna be the most used process. Next, we're gonna go across the middle. And so from our front ready stance, we're gonna bring it back to that nice Jedi guard, drop the tip back, and bring it wide sweeping across, back to our Jedi guard, around, wide sweeping it across. I'm forced to lead with my hands on that one because of the space I have with the wall here. So I'm gonna take a step over to the side so you guys can kind of see that. Boom, across, boom. Notice how I'm stopping right about here. The reason for that is because when I do my horizontal cuts, I'm only cutting through as wide a target as is in front of me. I am not worried about cutting way out here, because that's not going to do me any good if I have a single opponent, and that's how we're training to fight. We're not trying to fight a bajillion people with lightsabers and blasters. We're just learning to fight a single opponent. So we're going to go to that Jedi guard, drop the tip back, extend the tip out in front of us. Boom, boom. Notice I can switch my feet, or I can stay nice and static just to get those movements down, and then focus on the timing and the switching of my feet. We're going to go into a more in-depth tutorial on footwork. I'll probably link that into the description. We'll put it up top once we get that done. But follow the playlist for Lightsaber 101 and we'll get into that. So those are our horizontal cuts. Nice and through the middle. They can happen high. They can happen low. They can happen in the middle. Horizontal cuts are most frequently used from the high position and a high guard here and here. They are less useful and dependable through the middle of the body here. A diagonal cut is almost always going to be your better choice, but for learning these skills and learning these movements, I want you guys to practice all 6 of the cuts you've just learned as we've just practiced. So keeping this tutorial short, we're going to take the final 2 cuts up and down, working through our asterisk. High guard, nice and above your head, just like so. And it doesn't matter your footwork here. The only thing that matters is that tip comes down towards the head of your opponent. Wherever that head might be. If their head's over here, that's where you strike. If their head is over here, that's where you strike. You can then turn your blade, once again, nice tight on the top, loose grip on the bottom, and straight through the head, straight through the crotch area. Boom. And that'll be your downward cut. Roll it back, up. And because it's a lightsaber, you can just do that as well. And that's your up and down. But if you want to put some power behind it and lift up, that's how you would do it. Guys, these have been your basic overview of your beginning strikes. I want to get more practice with these. That being said, what we're going to do is we're going to start with our downward diagonals. We're going to move to our horizontals. We're going to then transfer to our upward diagonals and then go down and up for the finish. Follow along the best you can. If you're still working on the diagonals, you're still working on the cuts or the directions, getting used to them, please just rewind, listen to the tutorial again. If you're ready to get some workout and get this drill going, this is an easy practice drill to help you remember your forms. Lightsaber form 1 of luminous movement. Ready, front. I'm going to turn it over. That's 2. We'll give you guys a second to take a break. Arms might be getting tired. We've done that 6 times. We're going to do it 4 more times. This time, if you have the space and you have the room, I want you to add a little bit of power to those moves, being careful not to hit things, walls, the ground. Take care of your environment. If you don't have quite enough room to do these swings, take the blade out of your hilt and practice just with the hilt, or get a shorter stick. That said, let's finish up nice and strong. We're going to get through these swings. Ready, front.
Sorry about that. My camera ran out of space before I finished my last two, but I hope you guys got through it. If you haven't, please do finish up those strikes, put some power into it, practice these skills for at least 10, 20, however much time you guys want to put into it is how much you'll get out of it. Me and Coach Cameron over at Luminous Movement like to practice for at least an hour a day, whether it be our lightsaber skills or our sword skills. So be sure to put in the time and you'll get in the return. Until the next time, guys, if you liked this video, leave a like. Please consider subscribing. It really does help out the channel, no matter what they tell you. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Until the next time, stay out of trouble, make good choices, may the force be with you, and remember,